I was scrolling through Facebook, as I do from time to time, and I saw this post about free food just around the corner from where I live. And it was a community page, and I thought that's a lovely gesture, especially this time of year. You know, Christmas can be so hard for many people and families. There's a lot of outgoing costs. Anyway, I looked at it, delicious food. Then I looked at the profile, and then I did a bit of digging and found out this wonderfully generous person has been rescuing food destined for landfill and using it to fill hungry pukus for many years, not just Christmas. Auckland retiree Taka Peters, I discovered, has become quite a local icon on the North Shore, handing out free food from the boot of his car to those that need it. He rescues the food from catering businesses that would otherwise be biffed, and he gives it to those that want it. And boy, I look, a beef bolognese with grated cheese, fresh veg on mashed potato, meatballs, peas, carrots, also mashed potato with gravy, beef pasta. I mean, this is good. Kai, creamy chicken mac and cheese with veggie, all fresh and free. And Taka Peters is with me now. Taka, a very good afternoon to you.
Oh, good afternoon to you too, Leah.
It is so lovely to talk to you again. I mean, I rang you this morning, obviously, once I reached out and got your number. Realised we're actually quite close to each other. We live quite in the same kind of hood.
Yes, definitely.
So I suppose, Taka, first thing is how did it all start?
About 4 years ago, I was at home and my ex-neighbour had purchased a business, a catering business, and he rings me up out of the blue and he goes, "Taka, I'm throwing away all this food." He says, "It's fresh stuff. Do you want it?" And I went, "Yeah, I'll take it. Yep, give it to me." So I drove there in this little old Nissan Bluebird that I had to his business, loaded up in my boot of my car, the back seat, the front seat, the floors, everywhere, all this food, and drove away. And went to my church at that particular time and offered it and said to my pastor, I said, "Look, I've got all this food. You know, this is what we need to feed our people in our community." And he says, "Well, look, Taka, we'll take this stuff." I won't name the church, but he said, "I don't want any more." And I went, "Well, isn't what we need to feed our people that are struggling in our communities?" And he says, well, you know, we only do dried foods and everything, so that was fine. And of course, Leah, I had already made a verbal contract with my old neighbour. His name is Sydney Junior Garcia from Brazil. And I went back there the following day and loaded up my vehicle, same amount, the boot, the back seat, the front seat, the floors everywhere, and drove away in my little old car and thought, wow, what am I going to do with all this food? I've made a verbal contract to take everything that he's thrown away. And I asked the Lord, I says, direct me. So he directed me to my local shops, basically, here in Beach Haven.
Yeah.
And I pulled up outside it and I went, well, there's an Indian takeaway, a Foursquare, a bakery, and a laundromat. Well, if they're going to call the police on me, well, good on them. You know, I'm giving away free food. So that's how it started. And for 4 months, I had to repeat myself over and over again because people couldn't believe that I was giving away free food and where was it from. And, of course, I couldn't disclose the catering business because that was part of the contract, you know, that I kept their name private, which was, you know, hey, give me free food, I'll feed the community, I'll feed everyone.
Yeah.
And so that's how it went, Leah. So, and then as time went on, my car was giving me trouble. So I had this lady who'd come down and she just loved what I do. Her name was Julie Gilden. She's a manager of a law firm, and she says, I love what you're doing, Taka. Is there anything I can do? And I says, I could do with a new set of wheels. And she says, Well, I
Just
can
like
help
that.
you with that. And I said, well, you're going to buy me one? She says, no, we'll give a little page in the community and see how we go. And I went, oh, okay. So she set up this, what amazing woman, her and this other young lady who does cats, who picks up people's animals and dead animals that have been run over on the road and takes them to the vets and takes them home to the people who own them. Her name is Copeland, Alicia Copeland or something like that, in the local Beach Haven area. Anyway, so that she sets up this community page, give a little page for me, and for 2 weeks it sort of sat around the $1,500, and I thought, well, you're lucky if I get $500 for my old car.
Yeah.
So at least, I'll be able to upgrade to a $2,000 car. And then one of the guys from 7 Sharp got a hold of me and wanted to do a TV interview. I can't remember his name. He's quite a recognised name. Anyway, he turns up and with his film crew and says, oh, do you mind if we film you and everything? I says, yeah, well, if it helps me in any way. So he made this amazing story, put it on the 7 Sharp as one of the good people who do stuff in the community.
You were a good sort, Taka, I think.
Yeah, I was a good sort.
You're a good sort. Yeah. Good sorts. That's good. And then within 48 hours, because of the TV exposure, my Give a Little page went from $1,500 to $12,000. Whoa. Taka, that is, that's fantastic. Oh.
So the community got behind me, and so did a lot of people in Aotearoa. And thank you, all those people, if you're listening and part of this. Thank you so much for gifting to do what I love doing, and that's being part of our community and helping our people.
So, Taka, with that money, I gather you got yourself a good car so that you could keep up with deliveries. I sold my old car for $300. Yeah.
Got rid of my old car for $300 because that's about all it was worth.
Yeah.
And my good friend Julie Gilden actually paid for it in advance, because with Give a Little page you have to wait 4 weeks before they release the money.
Yeah.
So she purchased me. Well, she drove me around everywhere looking at different vehicles, and finally I saw the one I wanted, perfect for standing underneath the boot, keeping dry on those wet days that I'm there giving out food. And I haven't looked back since.
Oh, Taka. And do you so you set up how many days a week? Are you sitting there with your car and the food?
I do Tuesdays to Fridays.
Jeez, that's
and
good.
I've also expanded from not only just doing it in my local community, which is Beach Haven, Birkdale.
Yep.
I actually branch over to where you live, which is over in Northcote.
Yes.
Yes, because of all the social housing, the Kaingaroa housing.
Yeah.
In that area.
It's gone crazy.
Well, I'll be honest with you, that's the new slums of Auckland.
Taka, I think so
I'm sorry
too.
to say.
Yeah.
That's what.
I know.
Yeah. Give it 20 years, and that's what it's going to end up being. And Kaingaroa needs to look at doing something a little bit better than just like stacking 40-foot containers on top of one another, because that's what they look like.
Absolutely. I think they are.